This is Jacque Williams. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, I want to make a project with you using the heart-shaped bundle. And this one is a SaleABration gift. So this is free with purchase, both the stamps and the dies during January, February 2025. And stay tuned till the end because I have some additional samples to share with you. So this project today is just a little bit of a fun fold. I have a piece of thick white cardstock that is 5.5 inches by 11 inches, and we're just going to make two score lines at 3 1/4 and 7.5. And then this folds in, and then this folds in, and that is the fun fold, and that gives us a card base of 4 1/4 by 5.5 with a little bit of an overlap with the front, with the left and the right side. So it's kind of like an extended gatefold card. Now let's put our designer series paper on, and I'm using the Blossoms in Bloom paper. And I have 3 pieces that are 5 3/8 by 3 inches, and then just some other smaller strips of the coordinating more plain print. So what I am going to do is I'll take this more plain print and I'm going to put that on the right hand side like this. And that way when I close the card, I can still see a little piece of that. And then I'll put one of the strips along the left hand side. Then I'll take the patterned piece and I'm going to center that in between the two. Now when I open the card, this actually overhangs just a little bit, but I'm going to make use of that and then take another one of the pretty patterns. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put one of the plain strips here and then put the floral pattern in between them. Now I've cut these floral ones at 3 inches so that I can get the most out of the pack, and then you can just use the leftover little strips and scraps that you might have to fill in any gaps that you have. Plus it just makes it more interesting. So something like this. Okay, so we'll open like this and you've got pretty paper all throughout. Now let's do the front of our card. I have paired the heart-shaped bundle with the nested essentials dies, and I've cut a piece that is about 3 3/4 inch square. And what I did is I used this die and just positioned it here at the bottom, and that gave me a perfect tag shape. Or you can use your scissors, but if you have those dies, this makes it nice and easy. Okay, I'm going to actually use that little scrap, so I'll set that aside. Now let's pull in our stamps. And I'm going to use fresh freesia and stamp that heart right here onto my little tag shape. And what I'm going to do is stamp that straight on and then stamp it a few more times without re-inking. And then I'm going to do that. I'm going to stamp onto a scrap and then just keep stamping it a few times like this. And hopefully you can see that in the camera. You get this kind of nice hazy look around, but it still has some of those details showing. And I think it's actually quite a nice effect. I might have seen that somewhere, but I feel like I've made it up. But you never know. Sometimes these things are just in your head and you don't realize where they came from. Now I'll put dimensionals on this, being careful not to put them too close to the edge. And then I'll center this up. Well, center it right and left like this. So this will overhang just a little, which is why I didn't want my dimensionals close to the edge. Now I'm going to use the two-toned Petunia Pop cardstock. So you can see how one side is lighter than the other, and I'm going to cut the heart out of the dark side and one out of the lighter side, and you'll get something like this. You can see just a bit of a color difference, and then we'll put that on top of our stamp. Now, if I'd thought ahead, I would have cut this out with adhesive paper, but it didn't. So you can just use very small dots of glue. But if you have adhesive paper, then that's probably the preferred method. I'll put that on a little off center over the stamp, and then the lighter one, a little off center of that, still so you can tell that it's a heart shape. Then this die set also has a really cute little daisy flower. So I've cut those out of Blackberry Bliss, and then I've cut leaves out of a couple of colors. I wasn't sure what was going to look the nicest, so we'll see. And I wanted to bring in the gold twine. I just love gold with the dark purple colors. And if you haven't tried this new gold twisted thread, it's really nice. It's like linen thread, but gold. Okay, let's use a glue dot to place that on. And I think I'll use a glue dot for these flowers as well. They're quite dark, but they go with the papers, so I think it's all right. Now, do we like the purple leaves or the crumb cake leaves? I think I'm leaning a little towards the crumb cake. There we go. And we can add some pearls, and that will lighten up those flowers as well. There, that helps a lot. Okay, then we just need some words. And I'll use Blackberry Bliss for the words. And I'm just going to scissor this out. It wasn't too bad. I'll place that there. Now, by the way, this sample was inspired by this sample here in the SaleABration brochure. So I've taken the concept and just added a little bit more and changed up the colors. So these books are really great for inspiration. Now, I just want to do a little stamping on the inside of the card. So we'll just stamp that heart and do my little shadow stamping as well. And both of these words come in that set as well. And we can put that inside. There we go. And there is our finished project. And that actually went together pretty easily and uses the heart-shaped stamps and dies and the Bloom Impressions designer series paper. I have another sample to share with you, just using a different print in that pack. This one with yellow and pretty in pink. And it's the same layout, just using some different colors. And I've used a bit of Calypso Coral there with that one. Well, I hope you like those. Now I have some other samples to share with you using the heart-shaped stamp and die set. So this one was also inspired by a catalog sample. Changed it up with completely different colors, but I wanted to make a little more of a masculine card because cards like this with the hearts and, you know, loving messages, I figure at least half the time we're giving them to the men in our lives. So it's good to see how they can work for that as well. And I've paired that with the Timeless Plaid papers and then just taken my colors from there and used the Nested Essentials dies again for this little detail on the side. Okay, then this sample I've used the Bloom Impressions papers again, this time die cut right out of them to give it just a nice variegated color look. You can't really tell that that's a floral print, but it just gives you lots of different colors in the die cut, and kept it quite simple. So I thought this would be appropriate for a wedding card. And on that note, I also used this set to make just a simple wedding layout for one of my daughters, and just pulled the colors from her bouquet and brought them in through the details there, and then used the die also in the background just as some texture. So this set is also very suitable for scrapbooking layouts because we're generally scrapbooking people or events that we love. So there are my ideas with the heart-shaped bundle. I hope that inspires you. Now the heart-shaped bundle is free with purchase. So please check the video description for a shopping link. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave me a comment, share this video, and of course subscribe. This is Jackie, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.